Okay, let me write one more name down here. And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to TCU Horned Frog Lacrosse, coming to you live from the Justin Fields here on the campus of Texas Christian University in Fort Worth, Texas. This is Brian Shackelford, along with executive producer Fred Garner and the entire Game On Sports crew, bringing you today's action in the Men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association, as we have a LSA South Division matchup here for you this afternoon. These competitors both competing in the South Division of the Lone Star Alliance. A matchup today between the Texas State Bobcats and the TCU Horned Frogs. Looking forward to some exciting lacrosse action here this afternoon, as the teams were taking the field now. Just a moment here, we'll introduce your officiating crew today. Your referee this afternoon is Edward Rose. The umpire this afternoon, Mr. Jason Stefanidis, and your field judge today, Brian Searsma. 3 referees here in action in this NCAA-sanctioned lacrosse matchup, as we've got 4 full 15-minute periods of action set for you here today from the Justin Fields on the west side of the TCU campus. The team's now meeting at midfield, as the officials will go over a brief overview of the rules and get set for today's match. And quickly, we'll run down today's starting lineup for you for the TCU Horned Frogs. Starting in midfield, number 3, Matthew Lockman. Starting also in the midfield, number 4, Tommy Bethel. Starting on attack, number 6, Cade Ricekamp. Also starting on the attack, number 12, Hayden Lundy. On defense, number 16, Kyler Waldron. Also on defense this afternoon, number 18, Zach Zerpolo. Defense also this afternoon, number 21, Traeger Connard. In the midfield, number 31, Trey Mala. And also in the midfield, number 32, Will Gambrell. And in goal today for your Horned Frogs, number 23, Carter Schubert. And that is the lineup today for the TCU Horned Frogs. And as soon as Texas State gets the field, we'll get you that lineup as well, as we're set here for some exciting lacrosse action this afternoon at Texas Christian University. The teams break and they'll take their respective positions. TCU will be defending the south goal to begin today's match. Texas State defending the north goal here at Justin Field. And we're set to go. Edward Rose sets the face-off, and we're underway in today's match. Here at Texas Christian, the ball scooped up by the Bobcats. On the attack quickly, number 8, Joseph Golzado. And a turnover to TCU. The ball scooped up by Zach Zerpolo as the long stick midfielder looks to move the ball forward. The ball picked up by Trey Mala. He's going to move it into the attacking zone. And TCU will set up their first offensive play of the afternoon here at Justin Fields. In the opening minute here of today's game, this is a division game in the LSA South Division, as both teams are competing to move toward the playoffs here in the Men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association. We have a whistle on the far side. And a brief stoppage of play. It appears they're having some issues with the 80-second shot clock, and we'll try to get that reset, as referee Edward Rose will halt play for the moment. And folks, we appreciate you joining us here today on Game On Sports Network. A brief pause here while we handle some technical difficulties. 14-19 remaining in the first period of play. And we're set to go. They'll reset the shot clock to 60 and the TCU offense is underway. And the Horned Frogs will move the ball around trying to size up the Texas State Bobcat defense. Behind the net, Hayden Lundy with the ball. He'll move it forward. A shot and a goal. Quick goal for TCU. That goal by number 6, Cade Ricecamp. Ricecamp puts the first goal on the board this afternoon here at Justin Fields. And barely a minute gone, 13:56 remaining in the first quarter here at Justin Fields. And your score, TCU Horned Frogs 1, Texas State 0. And we'll come back to the center circle where Nate English of the Bobcats will face off against JT Macedo. And the face-off specialist will lose the draw to Texas State. The ball scooped up by Jack Glenn, number 6 of the Bobcats. He'll bring the ball into the offensive zone for Texas State. And he's dispossessed. The ball taken over by Grayson Whiteman. And now TCU quickly back on the attack with a minute and a half gone here in the first quarter. They'll move the ball behind the net as Tommy Bethel will set up the offense for the Horned Frogs. The ball back up top to Will Gambrell. And back across to the left side to Matthew Lockman. Lockman looking for an opening, trying to get around C.J. Sims of the Bobcats. Pardon me, make that number 6, Jack Glenn. He's denied. Now on the attack, Trey Mala. A shot wide of goal. It goes out of bounds. And TCU will bring the ball back in as we move under 13 minutes remaining in the first quarter, a 1-0 lead for the Horned Frogs. TCU looks to set up the offense once again. Down to 25 on the shot clock. And a whistle on the near side. And that's a foul against TCU. The ball turns over to Texas State. Bringing the ball across on the attack, number 43, Julius Mosser. He's going to set up the Bobcats as the shot clock moves under 60 seconds. Once again, an 80-second shot clock here in NCAA men's lacrosse. They moving swiftly. And the Bobcats look to set up behind the goal. Caleb Cole starting the offense for Texas State. They'll come back up top with Julius Mosser. Down to 35 on the shot clock as the Bobcats look for an opening in the Horned Frog defense. Back behind the net once again, Caleb Cole. He's going to try to center, and he'll lose a ball out of bounds. That pass a little bit too high for Mac West. Touched by TCU. Texas State still on the attack as Mac West tries to get into the middle. And a whistle as the shot clock expires on the Bobcats. And quickly, TCU on the attack. Wasting no time bringing the ball forward. Will Gambrell, a shot deflected by the goalkeeper. Connor Mogan in goal today for the Bobcats, and he took the ball wide as TCU will restart the attack. Now the ball scooped up by Connor Mogan as that pass intended for Hayden Lundy goes wide. And now the Bobcats will be back on the clock. The ball across the timeline by Mac West as they move under 65 seconds remaining on the shot clock. A 1-0 lead here for TCU with 12:40 remaining in the first quarter. Caleb Cole to the far side on the attack. Scott Gaddy, and he's dispossessed. TCU brings the ball back across as Billy Niles looks for a way to get the ball across the midfield stripe. Jack Glenn. TCU quickly resets the defense as the shot clock now down to 65. TCU has not allowed a shot on goal yet here this afternoon in this 1-0 game. Although Max Combs looking for an opening, he's going to bring it back to the near side, and that ball's going to roll out of bounds, out of play, and Texas State will maintain possession. They'll bring the ball back into play with 45 seconds left on the shot clock and trailing 1-0. The ball back to the far side of the field in the hands of Max Combs, as Combs and Julius Mosser look to set up the offense now back to Caleb Cole behind the net. Cole looking to attack, he'll peel back. And they'll take the ball back up top to Julius Mosser. 25 now on the shot clock. Open on the near side. The Bobcats look as Mac off the post and deflected by the goalkeeper Carter Schubert. And Texas State will bring the ball back in with a fresh shot clock. They'll reset their offense. Now another shot deflected by Schubert. The ball out of bounds. It will be Texas State to bring the ball back in. 2 shots on goal by Texas State. No scoring yet for the Bobcats. Still a 1-0 lead. And now the ball comes across the timeline. Go on offense. Bringing the ball in, Tommy Bethel. I think the Bobcats confused there for a moment. They thought it would be a backcourt violation, but they still had over 60 seconds left on the shot clock. And that allowed TCU to scoop up the ball. A shot between the legs there by Hayden Lundy, wide of net. And TCU brings the ball back in. Tommy Bethel restarts play for the Horned Frogs. Just under 60 seconds on the shot clock. And that loose ball scooped up by Texas State. Joseph Golzado looks for a way to get the ball back into the offensive zone. And you working with the goalie, Connor Mogan, to move the ball forward. Texas State does so in time. A shot, a goal for Texas State. Number 34, Max Combs puts the ball in the lower left corner, just past the thigh of Connor Schubert. And your score now, ladies and gentlemen, with 10:50 remaining in our first quarter. It's TCU Horned Frogs 1, Texas State Bobcats 1. We'll reset in the center circle. Face-off specialist Nate English for the Bobcats. And the face-off specialist JT Macedo for TCU. Macedo scoops up the loose ball, a scrum for it there near midfield. TCU recovers. Hold the ball to put it in play for the Horned Frogs. The personnel switch through the gate for the Horned Frogs as they'll set up the offense with just under 11 minutes remaining in the first period. Ethan Griffin will start the attack for TCU. Tommy Bethel behind the net looking for a centering pass. Still looking for room behind the net as Hayden Lundy looks for an opening. The ball loose on the near side and scooped by the goalkeeper, Connor Mogan. Foul against the Bobcats will give TCU the ball. TCU back in play with a fresh 80-second shot clock. They set back up top with Colin Minute beginning the offense. A shot on goal and a score for the Horned Frogs. Ethan Griffin. A low bouncing shot. 5 holes the goalie, Connor Mogan. And it's now 2-1 in favor of TCU with 9:58 remaining in the first quarter. A quick pass from behind the net by Hayden Lundy. And a shot by Colin Minute. Almost a one-timer to coin on or borrow a hockey phrase. And now 2-1 in favor of the Horned Frogs. A face-off at midfield into the TCU zone out of the circle. Into the Bobcats and start the clock with 9:50 remaining in the period. The offensive personnel now on the field for the Bobcats as Julius Mosser, number 43, starts the offense. Back behind the net to Caleb Cole. He's going to try to wrap it around. Dispossessed in front by the defenseman for the Horned Frogs. And now scooped up by Grayson Whiteman as he tries to bring the ball forward and does so. A penalty flag on the field. And now with Texas State in possession, we'll have the penalty call. Penalty being assessed against Caleb Cole of the Bobcats. So TCU will be on the attack as the Bobcats are man down for 60 seconds. Caleb Cole takes his seat in the sin bin next to the scorer's table. And we'll restart the Horned Frog offense following the penalty. So TCU now man up for the next 60 seconds following the penalty to Texas State. Only 5 defenders for the Bobcats. As Hayden Lundy will reset behind the net. A low shot and a 5-hole right there, a score for Will Gambrell of the Horned Frogs. And quickly TCU converts on the penalty. And ladies and gentlemen, your score now, with 8:58 remaining in the first quarter here at Justin Fields, it's now TCU Horned Frogs 3, Texas State 1. And we have a timeout on the field taken by Texas State. And folks, we'll step aside for a moment with 8:58 remaining in the first quarter. Your score, TCU Horned Frogs 1, TCU Horned Frogs 3, Texas State 1. We'll be back in a moment here on the Game On Sports Network. And ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you back here to Justin Fields. Brian Shackelford along with executive producer Fred Garner and the entire Game On Sports crew bringing you today's TCU Horned Frog lacrosse action from Justin Fields on the west side of the Horned Frog campus. We're back from a timeout here. We're down to 8:58 remaining in the first quarter. TCU with a 3-1 lead over the Texas State Bobcats in this critical division game in the Lone Star Alliance South Division. Face-off following the TCU goal. Now a quick whistle. And the ball is awarded to the Horned Frogs following the face-off. A foul on the face-off against Nate English of the Bobcats gives TCU possession. Hayden Lundy will set up behind the net for the Horned Frogs. Lundy back out from behind the net as they'll rotate around on the far side. Lundy looking for room. Denied by C.J. Sims of the Bobcats. He'll reset behind the net. And they'll come all the way back up top to Trey Malla to reset the offense as we move under 8 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Shot clock down to 35 seconds. as Mala looks to reset. An over-the-shoulder shot and a goal for TCU. Trey Mala with the score. The spinning move and over the shoulder of his defender. A low shot just past the ankle of the goalkeeper, Connor Mogan. And that will make it TCU 4, Texas State 1, with 7:59 remaining in the first. TCU with a brilliant offensive attack to start the day here against the Texas State Bobcats. And this face-off, another penalty coming as the face-off scooped up by Nate English. And it appears they'll allow Texas State to play the advantage, the penalty coming up against TCU. And now, oh no, evidently they picked the penalty flag up as TCU now back on offense. The ball loose here on the near side. TCU back in possession. Cade Ricecamp will pick up the ball and restart the TCU offense as we approach 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter. A shot from distance, a low skimmer by Reed O'Connell goes wide. Out of bounds, and Texas State will now be in possession as we move under 7 minutes to play in the first. Still 4-1 in favor of the TCU Horned Frogs here in today's matchup in the LSA South Division. And a whistle on the far side. As they force the Bobcats out of bounds, TCU will get the ball back. And quickly back on offense, charging forward, Michael Bacino. Bacino looking for an opening. A shot blocked by Connor Mogan, the goalkeeper for the Bobcats. And he'll outlet quickly to Boone Byer, as Byer will start the Bobcat offense with 6.5 to play in the opening period. That pass intercepted. The TCU will move the ball back across the timeline at midcourt. Midfield, Michael Bacino now on the attack for the Horned Frogs. And a whistle stopping play, a timeout taken. And we have timeout on the field. 6:13 remains in our first quarter. Here at Justin Fields, your score as we go to break. It's TCU Horned Frogs 4, Texas State Bobcats 1. We'll be back after this timeout on the Game On Sports Network. And folks, we welcome you back here to TCU Horned Frog Lacrosse on Game On Sports Network. Brian Shackelford coming to you live from the Justin Fields on the west side of the Horned Frog campus as we resume play following a timeout by TCU. A 4-1 lead for the Horned Frogs as we approach 6 minutes to play here in the first quarter of this critical matchup in the Lone Star Alliance South Division. TCU back on offense. The bulk of the game has been spent in the TCU offensive zone. Only 2 shots on goal. Well, 3 shots on goal and 1 goal by the Bobcats. And another goal there for TCU, Hayden Lundy, with his second goal of the match. And that goal coming with 5:49 remaining in the first period. And ladies and gentlemen, your new score here at Justin Fields, it's now Horned Frogs 5, Texas State Bobcats 1. As the TCU offense on display here this afternoon, beautiful sunshine here at Justin Fields. And a great 62-degree afternoon here in Fort Worth, Texas. Beautiful weather for lacrosse, and great to be outdoors here with you today, bringing you this lacrosse action in the Men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association. The face-off at midfield, and quickly on the attack, the face-off specialist JT Macedo. A shot on goal deflected wide by the Bobcat goalkeeper, Connor Mogan. TCU will start the offense again, down to 65 on the shot clock and 5:45 remaining in the first quarter. Hayden Lundy looking for room behind the net. Well defended by Jack Glenn of the Bobcats. They'll move the ball back up top to Ethan Griffin. Griffin looking for room, Hill center, a low shot, score! The 5-hole open there for Tommy Bethel, and he'll net his second goal of the game. And this goal coming only 35 seconds after the last one. 5:25 now remains in the first quarter. And it's now TCU 6, Texas State 1. JT Macedo returning to the face-off circle. Alongside Nate England. Scramble for the ball at midfield. And Macedo picks up the ball. He'll outlet to Grayson Whiteman. And Whiteman moves the ball forward to Colin Minute to start the Horned Frog attack. Numbers, a quick shot by Minute. Save Connor Mogan of the Bobcats. The ball loose. And TCU picks it up again, knocked away by Mac West of the Bobcats. But TCU recovers, and Cade Ricecamp starts another attack for TCU. TCU leading 6-1 with less than 5 to play here in the first quarter. And it appears the Horned Frogs will be a little more deliberate in setting up the attack here. Centering pass. A big shot by Ricecamp deflected by C.J. Sims. Not out of bounds, and TCU will restart the attack down to 50 on the shot clock, as that shot did not draw iron or the goalkeeper. Ethan Griffin on the far side. He'll bring it across. Defended by C.J. Sims. No room there. Low shot. Mogan looking for the ball. And scooped up in front and score. Nicholas Perino. Connor Mogan deflected the long shot by Cade Ricecamp, but could not locate the ball. And right there in front of the net, Nicholas Perino picks it up and scores for the Horned Frogs. That score coming with 3:57 to play in the first period. And your score now. Back on the attack, winning the faceoff. JT Macedo for the Horned Frogs. JT will outlet behind the net to Jared Bethea. And Bethea starts the attack for the Horned Frogs. Another shot on goal, scooped up by the goalkeeper, Connor Mogan of Texas State. A quick change of possession as the Bobcats have the ball once again. They'll reset the 80-second shot clock. And Julius Mosser starts the attack for Texas State. 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. A 7-1 deficit as Texas State goes on the attack. Quarterbacking behind the net, number 37, Caleb Cole. As they try to find room in this Horned Frog defense to put a shot on Carter Schubert. Julius Mosser now behind the goal, dueling with Trey Mala. A centering pass, shot, and a goal for Texas State. The quick pass to number 34, Max Combs. And Combs puts it just over the right shoulder of Connor Schubert in the net to make your score with 2.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. TCU 7, Texas State 2. And, folks, that's just how quickly goals can be scored here in college lacrosse. The 80-second shot clock keeps things moving along, but these very talented players able to strike quickly as the ball does most of the work. Moving that ball very quickly from player to player. The face-off circle, this one still live, picked up by Texas State. Caleb Cole starts the offense again for the Bobcats. And he'll wait on the far sideline as he gets the right offensive personnel on the field for Texas State. And we approach the 2-minute mark of this first quarter. Cole now on the attack. Ball knocked loose of Max Combs, and Carter Schubert able to scoop it up. Schubert moves the ball forward with 1:55 to play in the first. A little too far. The ball still on the ground. And now a whistle. A foul called by the referee today, Edward Rose. And that's actually a penalty. A penalty on the play, and we'll see who's headed to the penalty box. Texas State will have possession. And the penalty called against number 19, Tate Falta. So now Texas State on the attack, man up for the next 60 seconds. Julius Mosser will start the attack for Texas State as they look to take advantage of this man-up situation. 90 seconds remain in the first quarter. 45 left on the man-up for the Bobcats. A shot from distance, save Schubert. Across the line. Still 15 seconds left on the man down. Scrambling for it at midfield. Now picked up by number 21, Traeger Connors. 1 minute now remaining in the first quarter. 7-2 in favor of the TCU Horned Frogs. The game clock moving under the shot clock. 50 on the game clock, 53 on the shot clock. So TCU can effectively run the clock down and take the last shot of the first quarter. The Horned Frogs reset up top with Trey Mala. Mala looking to take time off the clock with 30 seconds to play in the first quarter. Double teamed, he'll move the ball over to Will Gambrell. And TCU looking to set up the attack with just over 20 seconds in the opening period. Mala on the far side, he'll bring it across the mouth of the goal. Back over to Will Gambrell now, 7 seconds to play in the first quarter. Looking for a shot. Jack Huey, he'll charge the goal. And now the horn sounds, ending our first quarter of play. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the first 15 minutes in the books here this afternoon at Justin Fields in Fort Worth, Texas, as we begin today's action in the Lone Star Alliance South Division of the Men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association. And folks, your score as we head to the second quarter here at Justin Fields, your TCU Horned Frogs 7, Texas State Bobcats 2. We'll step aside and be back with the second quarter in just a moment here on Game On Sports. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to second quarter action at Justin Fields in Fort Worth, Texas. We're ready to begin the second quarter of today's lacrosse match between your TCU Horned Frogs and the Texas State Bobcats. It's a 7-2 Horned Frog lead as we begin the second quarter. The teams have switched ends. TCU now defending the north goal, and Texas State defending the south goal. A miscommunication, a foul, or penalty rather, on the face-off. And TCU awarded possession to begin the second quarter. And now a whistle as we have some non-combatants in the field just behind the south end zone, the south end of the field. A couple of folks out walking their dog along the south end zone, and referee Edward Rose needed them to pass by for their safety, as these lacrosse balls can travel at a great deal of speed, and someone not paying attention to the game could get seriously injured, especially being behind the end line. Back in play now as we have resolved that situation. TCU on the attack, 40 left on the shot clock as they move the ball back up top to number 32, Will Gambrell. Charging on the right side of goal, Trey Malla faked a shot. Now he's going to move it back to the near side and back up top. TCU moving the ball quickly, 23 left on the shot clock. They'll continue to move the ball in a counterclockwise motion. A shot and a score. What a shot right there by Matthew Lockman. A nice low zip, waist high. And Connor Mogan just unable to get the big net over there in time. Another goal for the Horned Frogs. And it's now TCU 8, Texas State 2. That goal coming with 13:53 remaining in the first half. So TCU able to strike 67 seconds into our second period and now hold a 6-goal advantage. Face off for the Bobcats, and Texas State moving forward quickly. English will move the ball to Joseph Guzaldo and allow the Bobcat attack to get on the field. A penalty flag on the turf. It appears a penalty coming up against TCU, as referee Edward Rose will allow the Bobcats to play the advantage. 60 left on the shot clock, as Julius Mosser will go on the attack for the Bobcats. Wide of the goal by Mosser, and now with a stoppage of play, we'll have the penalty call against TCU, and this will put a man down for TCU. In the sin bin, number 44, JT Macedo. And now Texas State with their second man-up advantage of the game. They were unable to capitalize on the first man-up advantage. A fresh 80-second shot clock for the Bobcats as they bring the ball into play, man up for the next 60 seconds. Starting the offense up top, number 25, Nate English. Caleb Cole behind the net. Back up top to English, looking for room. Cole looking for a shot. Now he'll whip it. It's wide of the net. Out of bounds, off the goalkeeper, Carter Schubert. Still 40 seconds left on the man advantage for the Bobcats. A shot from distance. Save Schubert. A low bouncing strike by number 34, Max Combs. But Schubert equal to the task. He'll move the ball back to midcourt. Another man advantage goes by the wayside for Texas State. On the attack, down the far sideline, Tommy Bethel for the Horned Frogs. The Horned Frogs leading 8-2 with just over 12 minutes remaining in the half. And TCU will pause briefly to get their offense on the field. The ball up top to Justin Causey as he'll reset the offense. And it looks like they'll attack near side with Tommy Bethel. Bethel trying to find room. He's going to move the ball back up top. As Cade Ricecamp will now reset for the Horned Frogs. 22 left on the shot clock. Ricecamp in the middle. A low shot. Morgan looking for the ball. He makes the save. Able to pick up the deflection, and he'll move it out to Mac West. Mac West brings it across. Denied by Justin Causey. A wraparound shot high over the top of the goal. And Caleb Cole loses his helmet. Now and it appears Cole trying to reverse his field, and Vieira with all the momentum heading the wrong way, basically running Cole over. Vieira with nowhere to go, knocking him down, and now Vieira will spend the next 60 seconds in the penalty box as the Bobcats go man up. Edward Rose resetting the play now. The ball in motion. Texas State man up for the next 60 seconds. Trailing 8-2. Mac West. Caleb Cole behind the net looking for room. He'll center. That pass just wide of English, but English able to scoop it up and maintain possession. Caleb Cole coming out from behind the net, back up top to Mosser. A shot from distance by Mosser. And Texas State will keep possession. They'll get a fresh shot clock, but down to 30 seconds left on the man-up advantage. The ball loose. And a foul called, a turnover to TCU. The cross-check behind the back gives TCU the ball. And TCU now on offense, down a man. As the penalty expires against Christian Vieira, TCU back to full strength with just over 10 minutes remaining in the half. The TCU offense set. Now Cade Ricecamp will begin the attack for the Horned Frogs. Behind the net now, Reed O'Connell for the Horned Frogs. Shot deflected off of Mogan and out of bounds. Connor Mogan not able to get the net on it, but deflecting off of his thigh out of bounds. TCU brings the ball back into play. Less than 30 on the shot clock. Texas State will have the ball with less than 9.5 to play in the second quarter. Scott Gaddy will begin the attack for Texas State as they look to eat into the 6-goal deficit, trailing 8-2 with 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Julius Mosser back on the field for the Bobcats. He'll reset the attack. Back to Max Combs on the far side. 40 on the shot clock. Texas State taking their time looking for room in that Horned Frog defense. As Max Combs looks for an open Bobcat. He's going to try the attack himself, the wraparound shot, and a score. What an amazing goal right there for number 34, Max Combs of the Bobcats. Connor Schubert did not leave much room at all between the left side of his body and the net, but it was just enough room for Max Combs to sneak the ball in there for a Bobcat goal. That goal coming with 8:24 remaining in the first half. And, folks, your score now here at Justin Fields this afternoon, it's TCU Horned Frogs 8, Texas State Bobcats 3. 8:24 remains in the first half as Nate English and JT Macedo in the center circle. Macedo winning that faceoff. He'll quickly start the attack for the Horned Frogs. Macedo offloading to Cade Ricecamp as TCU gets their offense on the field with 65 left on the shot clock. The Horned Frogs in no hurry with a 5-goal lead now at 8-3. But they would like to get it back to 6 goals. Shot. Save. Connor Mogan. He'll deflect the ball away on the shot by Tommy Bethel. TCU quickly brings the ball back into play. They catch Mogan behind the net. That ball off the post and out of bounds. TCU maintains possession. Mogan able to get back in the crease in time to deflect that shot off the post and wide. Ethan Griffin now behind the net up front. Back up top to Colin Minute. Cade Ricecamp now on the attack. A shot deflected off of Mogan, heading for the near side. And that will be Bobcat ball. A turnover to the Bobcats with 7:19 remaining in the half. Bringing the ball forward, number 5, C.J. Sims for the Bobcats. They have 5 seconds to get the ball across the timeline at midfield, and they do. 60 left on the shot clock as Scott Gaddy goes to work. The Bobcats get the right 6 men in the offensive zone. 6:40 remains in the half, 40 seconds on the shot clock for Texas State. Mac West on the attack, double teamed on the near side. He'll offload Caleb Cole. Max Combs looking for a shot. He'll bring it to the near side to Julius Mosser. Mosser with an opening, he thinks twice about it. Dispossessed by the Horned Frogs. Ball kicked loose at midfield. Ball comes across the timeline. And too many men on the defensive side for TCU. The turnover on the penalty to the Bobcats. TCU picks up the loose ball with 6 minutes to play in half. They go quickly back on offense. Jared Mateus. Reset the offense for the Horned Frogs. With the ball now, Trey Mala on the near side to start the offense for the Horned Frogs. He'll go behind the net and trade places with Cade Ricecamp. Ricecamp now with the ball. Challenging C.J. Sims on the near side. Shot and a goal for Cade Ricecamp. C.J. Sims all over him and just a quick wrister snapping right by the left shoulder of the goalkeeper Connor Mogan for the score. And with that goal, ladies and gentlemen, your new score with 5:26 remaining in our first half here at Justin Fields. It's now TCU Horned Frogs 9, Texas State Bobcats 2. The offense very effective this afternoon for the Horned Frogs as they're back to a 6-goal advantage. 9-3 rather is your score. And we have a timeout on the field. A timeout taken by Texas State with 6:23 remaining in the first half. We'll step aside for a quick break, and we'll be right back with TCU Lacrosse on the Game On Sports Network. Folks, we welcome you back here to Justin Fields at Texas Christian University for today's action in the South Division of the Lone Star Alliance of the Men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association. We'll resume play here following the timeout by the Texas State Bobcats. They've taken their second and final timeout of this first half, 5:26 remaining before halftime. It's Horned Frogs 9, Bobcats 3, as we'll resume play. Nate English in the center circle for the Bobcats alongside JT Macedo. Macedo puts a shoulder into the ball, and the ball awarded to Texas State on the penalty. Moving the ball forward quickly, Joseph Gulzado for Texas State. And the Bobcats go to work on offense with just over 5 minutes to play in the half.
That's audio 1, 2, 3, 4. Input. Yes, input. Okay. And then you've got the aux headset. Yeah, I had that little snake that you had.
Taking the ball around the back of goal, Scott Gaddy for the Bobcats. Thinks about the wraparound and instead moves it back up top to number 43, Julius Messer. 45 on the shot clock for Texas State as they'll reset up top. A low shot by Julius Messer goes wide. And the ball out of bounds. Bringing the ball back in play, Max Combs for the Bobcats. Mac West battling with Hayden Lundy on the near side. The Bobcats down to 22 on the shot clock. Mac West trying to work his way in toward Carter Schubert. West still holding on to the ball. 15 on the shot clock. Mosser fakes the shot. He'll get it back up top to Caleb Cole. Down to 7 on the shot clock. And now the ball loose. Rolling out of bounds as the shot clock expires. That's the second time this afternoon that Texas State has let the 80-second shot clock expire on their offensive attack. And now TCU will go back to work with just over 4 minutes remaining before halftime. The clock winds as we hit the 4-minute mark of this second quarter. Michael Bacino bringing the ball forward for TCU. Justin Causey starts the attack. Moving the ball over to Cade Ricecamp on the near side. Ball trickling toward goal, picked up by the Bobcats. Still a loose ball. Now with possession, Joseph Gulzado. And he'll get the ball across the timeline to Max Combs, who goes on the attack for the Bobcats. A quick centering pass, snagged by Scott Gaddy to Caleb Cole. And now the loose ball coming back toward midfield, scooped up by Grayson Whiteman. Whiteman takes a shot, and the long stick midi sails the ball over the goal out of bounds. TCU brings the ball back in play as we move under 3 minutes remaining in the half. They'll get a fresh 80-second shot clock as Justin Causey will come back up top with the ball and reset the Horned Frog offense. Michael Bacino on the far side for the Horned Frogs. Thinking about a shot, Justin Causey, he'll move it over to the near side, the ball on the turf. Picked up by Hayden Lundy. He'll come to the far side. And Lundy looks to reset the attack from the far side with less than 30 on the shot clock. Ball deflected and intercepted by C.J. Sims of the Bobcats. 2 minutes now. 2 minutes remaining in the first half as the Bobcats go on the attack, trailing 9-3. A whistle on the near side. We'll now resume play with 1:45 remaining in the half. A fresh 80-second shot clock for the Bobcats, trailing by 6. Julius Mosser looking for room. He'll center. Scott Gaddy shot deflected by Schubert. What a great save right there by Carter Schubert on the point-blank shot by Scott Gaddy of the Bobcats. The ball loose at midfield, scooped up again by Texas State with 77 seconds to play in the half. C.J. Sims on the near side. He'll go all the way across the field as Jack Glenn crosses the timeline, and we begin the final minute of this second quarter. The ball kicked forward, scooped up by TCU. What an interception right there by Jack Glenn. And now Texas State can play for the last shot of the half. The ball out of bounds. Stepping out of bounds, Jack Glenn with the ball. He turns it over to the Horned Frogs. 42 seconds remaining in the half. And now the Horned Frogs will play for this last shot of the second quarter. Matthew Lockman on the attack. 30 seconds to play. And now another whistle. And a timeout taken by TCU. They're going to set up an attack here. 29 ticks remain in the first half as TCU will take their final timeout of this first half. We'll step aside briefly here on the Game On Sports Network. 9-3 in favor of TCU. And folks, welcome back here to the final 30 seconds of the first half. Both teams now out of timeouts as the Horned Frogs on the attack with 25 seconds remaining before halftime. TCU 9, Texas State 3 here in the waning seconds of the second quarter. A shot over the shoulder by Trey Mullis, saved by the goalkeeper Connor Mogan. And we'll see if the Bobcats can make something happen with 7 seconds to play in the half. Caleb Cole going behind the net. And the horn sounds, bringing us to halftime. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of the first half of play here at Justin Fields on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Fort Worth, Texas, as Game On Sports brings you today's action in the South Division of the Lone Star Alliance of the Men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association. And, folks, your score as we go to the halftime break here at Justin Fields. It's your TCU Horned Frogs 9, Texas State Bobcats 3. An outstanding offensive performance here in the first half by the Horned Frogs, putting 9 goals on the board, 7 of those in the first quarter alone, as the Horned Frogs out to the quick attack. And the Texas State Bobcats looking to make something happen. 2 goals in the first period, only 1 in the second. And they trail here by 6 at halftime. We'll step aside for the halftime break. And, folks, we'll be back with third period action coming up here on the Game On Sports Network. Stay with us. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Game On Sports Network, along with executive producer Fred Garner and our entire crew here today in Fort Worth, Texas. This is Brian Shackelford bringing you live action from the Lone Star Alliance South Division of the Men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association. This matchup here at TCU Justin Fields between your TCU Horned Frogs and the Texas State Bobcats. We welcome you back here to second half action at Justin Fields. We'll begin the third quarter. TCU 9, Texas State 3, as TCU with a blistering offensive attack in the first quarter, scoring 7 of their 9 goals in the first frame. And now it's up to Texas State to try to cut into this deficit as we begin the third quarter. Nate English and JT Macedo in the center circle. The whistle begins the third quarter, and Macedo with the face-off win for the Horned Frogs. A quick low shot, just deflected wide by Connor Mogan. Some mustard on that shot from Colin Minnett, but Mogan able to get just enough of it to kick it wide of the net. But TCU retains possession, gets a fresh 80-second shot clock. And the Will Gambrell will restart the offense for the Horned Frogs. The centering pass a little too high, scooped up in the back by number 31, Trey Malla. That shot also wide of goal. Scooped up in the near side corner by Tommy Bethel. Down to 40 seconds on the shot clock for the Horned Frogs in this opening possession of the third quarter, as they lead by a score of 9-3. And a shot right there by Bethel, deflected by the goalkeeper. Connor Mogan. The Bobcat goalkeeper will bring the ball down the near side, way out of his crease. Here on the near side to Max Combs. Whistle just as Max Combs crosses midfield. And a turnover to the Horned Frogs. Back on the attack, number 3, Matthew Lockman. Hayden Lundy will hold up while they reset the offense. Lundy takes the ball around behind the net where he's challenged by C.J. Sims of Texas State. Lundy scoops it up. A shot. Deflection by Mogan. The ball wide of the net. Still in the crease. Mogan able to scoop it up with the big net. And he'll outlet to C.J. Sims on the near side. The shot clock resets for the Bobcats, as they have 8 seconds to get the ball across midfield. Mogan's going to take it himself. And the ball scooped up by TCU. They'll reset the shot clock, as Will Gambrell will bring the ball forward for the Horned Frogs. A big shot right there and a goal for TCU. Cade Ricekamp with the hat trick on the afternoon, his third goal of the match. And that goal coming with 12:48 remaining in our third quarter. Your score now, ladies and gentlemen, here at Justin Fields. TCU Horned Frogs 10, Texas State Bobcats 3. Just a lightning shot right there from Cade Ricekamp, scooting by the right side of the goalkeeper, Connor Mogan. Double digits on the afternoon with a 10-3 lead. JT Macedo and Nate English in the center circle. That ball scooped up by Grayson Whiteman. And the Horned Frogs back on offense with 12.5 to play in the third. Whiteman will stall while the offense gets on the field for the Horned Frogs. And now Ethan Griffin will lead the attack for TCU. All the way behind the net, back to Hayden Lundy. An attack by Colin Minnett on the near side, back to Lundy behind the net. He'll try the wraparound. And 5 holes the goalie and C.J. Sims for the score. Pops the wrister backward. A backward shot that went through the legs of both C.J. Sims, the defender, and the goalie Connor Mogan, and it's the second goal of the third quarter for the Horned Frogs. Your score with 12:07 remaining in the third. Now TCU Horned Frogs 11, Texas State 3. JT Macedo and Nate English return to the center circle. 16th face-off of the afternoon. Macedo wins quickly. He'll attack. As the face-off specialist will stay on the pitch right now for the Horned Frogs. Quickly he'll lead now as Cade Ricekamp resets the offense. Through the gate. And on the field, number 5, Colin Minnett. A loose ball scooped up by Connor Mogan, the Bobcat. Now Texas State moves the ball forward with 11.5 remaining in the third. Their first attack of this second half as Mac West brings the ball forward. TCU defending the south goal here at Justin Fields here in the third quarter, just as they did in the opening quarter. And now Mac West on the near side will switch places with number 34, Max Combs, on the attack. They're down to 48 on the shot clock and 11 minutes remaining in the third. A penalty flag out of the pocket of the field judge, Brian Searsma. Texas State plays the advantage, and as soon as TCU gets possession, the whistle from Searsma now will get the penalty against the Horned Frogs. A holding penalty called, and it's a man-up advantage for the Bobcats. Going to the penalty box, number 25, Nicholas Perino. And it's a 60-second man-up advantage for Texas State. Max Combs with the ball on the near side. The official winds the clock. And TCU will have to defend man down here with an 11-3 lead. Back to the near side, Max Combs and Caleb Cole up top back to number 43, Julius Mosser. As Texas State looks to take advantage of this man-up advantage. 0-2 so far in the game on man-up advantages are the Bobcats. And now the penalty expires. TCU back to full strength. As Justin Causey joins his Horned Frog teammates on the defensive side of the field. The Bobcats still in possession, down to 35 on the shot clock. Mac West looking for room on the far side. Challenging Zach Zarpolo. Caleb Cole behind the net for Texas State. Trying to put a move on Joshua Harrison. And another penalty flag as Caleb Cole goes down to the turf. And it appears there'll be another man-up advantage for Texas State.
Caleb, that's all they can do on you, buddy. Let's go.
And it is a cross-checking penalty against the Horned Frogs. And heading to the penalty box, number 16, Kyler Waldron. Waldron in the sin bin for the next 60 seconds. The fourth man-up advantage of the afternoon for Texas State. 9:43 remains in the third quarter. And a fresh 80-second shot clock for the Bobcats. Caleb Cole behind the net, back to the near side with Max Combs. Caleb Cole again looking for the wraparound. Combs fakes the shot. Julius Mosser. Dispossessed by Joshua Harrison. A scramble for the loose puck. Caleb Cole picks it up. Another penalty flag coming in. This will be against TCU. Still a man-up advantage for the Bobcats. And now a whistle with 9:02 remaining. We'll get another penalty call for a slash against the Horned Frogs. Still 15 seconds on the first penalty to Kyler Waldron. And now joining him in the penalty box, Joshua Harrison. So TCU now down to 4 defenders. This is a 2-man-up advantage for the Bobcats. They are awarded a fresh 80-second shot clock. And the Bobcats have to convert here, trailing by 8. The clock moving, 9 minutes to play in the third. As the Bobcats play 2 men up. The two-man advantage only lasting for another 10 seconds. The ball deflected by Grayson Whiteman. And Whiteman now in possession. And he'll move the ball forward into the offensive end for the Horned Frogs. The penalty expires to Kyler Waldron. TCU playing shorthanded. There's still one man down on this attack. As Justin Causey looks to take some time off the clock, being double-teamed on the near side. He'll get rid of the ball back up top. Scooped up by number 31, Trey Malla, as they wait for the penalty to Joshua Harrison to expire. A quick shot deflected by Mogan on the strike by Michael Bacino. And now a whistle and a penalty coming in from the field judge, Brian Searsma. The penalty has expired that was issued to Joshua Harrison, TCU back at full strength. And it looks like somebody headed to the penalty box for the Texas State Bobcats. And that somebody is the person of number 5, C.J. Sims. So going quickly from being two men down to being man up here with 8:02 remaining in the third quarter. TCU on the attack with the man advantage and a fresh 80-second shot clock. Cade Ricecamp will start the attack over to Matthew Lockman. Behind the net, Hayden Lundy. The pass missed by Trey Malla. He'll scoop it back up. The Horned Frogs reset, 70 on the shot clock. Cade Ricecamp with 3 goals in the game already. Oh, and they'll lose the ball. The Bobcats just at the right spot intercepting that pass. And now they'll look to kill some time as they try to get the ball across the timeline. Connor Mogan, the goalkeeper, moving the ball forward across the timeline. And Mac West will start a shorthanded attack for the Bobcats. And that pass off the wicket of Max Combs out of bounds. A golden opportunity wasted there by Texas State, as they did have strength and numbers charging Carter Schubert in the goal. But instead, the ball out of bounds. And a big shove there by Texas State, unable to take Will Gambrell out of bounds. He tiptoes the sideline to stay in and get the ball to Cade Ricecamp. A low shot deflected by the long stick midi, Joseph Golzado. Golzado now in the game with the long stick in the midfield. He had played previously with a standard length stick on the attack. He's moved to midfield now for the Bobcats. The ball lost out of bounds by TCU across the end line. And Texas State will have the ball with just over 6.5 remaining in our third quarter. Your score still here at Justin Fields remains TCU 11, Texas State 3. As we play lacrosse here with just under 6.5 remaining in the third quarter. It appears that TCU now has the ball following the inbound. And fresh players in for TCU, led by number 39, Logan Atkins. A shot and a score right there for the Horned Frogs. That goal by number 34, Connor Singer. Singer nets the third goal of this third period for the TCU Horned Frogs. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your score with 6:09 remaining in our third quarter here at Justin Fields. It's TCU Horned Frogs 12, Texas State Bobcats 3. Back in the center circle. The face-off specialist for both teams, Nate English and J.T. Macedo. Macedo scoops up the loose ball. And the Horned Frogs back on the attack with 6 minutes remaining in the third. Cade Ricecamp takes possession for the Horned Frogs as they get their offensive personnel on the field. Through the gate onto the field, number 1, Ethan Vernon. And number 39, Logan Atkins. Also on for the Horned Frogs, number 41, Griffin Wallace, along with Connor Singer, who scored the last goal. Hayden Lundy still in his position behind the net for the Horned Frogs. Cade Ricecamp behind the net looking for an opening. Still challenged by C.J. Sims of the Bobcats. A low shot, wide of goal. Scooped up by the Bobcats. And now the Bobcats go on the attack as we approach 5 minutes remaining in the third. Caleb Cole will take the ball behind the net for Texas State while the Bobcats get the right personnel on the field. And now he and Max Combs start the attack, but a whistle. And a timeout taken by TCU. Or pardon me, by Texas State, rather. The Texas State Bobcats will take timeout with 4:56 remaining in our third quarter. Here at Justin Fields, we'll step aside for a moment, back with more Men's College Lacrosse Association action on Game On Sports Network right after this short break. And folks, welcome back here to Justin Fields on the campus of Texas Christian University as we have more men's lacrosse action here. 4:56 remains in the third period as the Texas State Bobcats have just used their first timeout of the second half. They have possession of the ball, 61 seconds on the shot clock. As we'll resume play from the near side, Max Combs and Caleb Cole start the offense for Texas State. The Bobcats now with one timeout remaining in the second half. And they trail here in the third quarter by a score of 12-3. Caleb Cole looking for room. Defended by Samuel Ferguson. The shot wide is now in net, in goal for TCU is number 48, Cullen Stewart. A shot deflected by Stewart. A big shot right there by Scott Gaddy off the rib cage of Stewart out of bounds. Texas State brings the ball back in from the far sideline. A fresh shot clock down to 75 seconds and 4:10 remaining in the third period. Julius Mosser with the pass over the head of Caleb Cole and out of bounds. Edward Rose will put the ball back in play as TCU on offense. Bringing the ball forward, number 20, Tate Falta. A fresh offense out on the field for the Horned Frogs. 34, Connor Stewart. Along with number 41, Griffin Wallace. And a whistle. Ball turns over to Texas State. The Bobcat goalkeeper puts the ball back in play. And C.J. Sims and Connor Mogan will walk the ball forward for the Bobcats. And another whistle from the far sideline. The ball back to the Bobcat goalkeeper, Connor Mogan. And now we move forward with 3:20 remaining in the third quarter. Max Combs brings the ball across midfield. 70 seconds left on the shot clock for the Bobcats. As Combs looks to reset the Bobcat offense. 3 goals on the afternoon for Texas State. Combs looking to put number 4 on the board. A penalty flag on the play as he's taken down by Samuel Ferguson. And now a little bit of, multiple now. All 3 See how we ended up with 4 penalty flags on the field between 3 officials. The officials have some things to sort out here as tempers flared a little bit following the foul by Samuel Ferguson or retaliation from Scott Gaddy. And it looks like multiple players will be headed to the penalty box on both sides. We'll get the penalty calls here from the field coach, Brian Searsman. Searsman to the scorer's table. As Caleb Cole has already put himself in the sin bin. It looks like he'll be joined by number 25, Nate English. Some explanation here from the field judge, Brian Searsman. Explain the penalty. Sportsmanlike conduct penalty being assessed. Looks like offsetting on sportsmanlike against both sides. And the net result of this is that TCU will have a man advantage. Officials will take a moment to gather the laundry they've scattered on the field. As we have just under 3 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. It looks like we do have one player each in the penalty box. Christian Vieira for TCU. And number 37, Caleb Cole for Texas State. This will be equal strength 5-on-5 lacrosse here with 2:50 to play. Texas State in possession of the ball and 75 seconds on the shot clock. So offsetting penalties, putting one player each from both squads in the penalty box. And we'll have 5-on-5 hockey for the next, or 5-on-5 lacrosse rather, for the next 60 seconds.
Third quarter, right?
Lots of room out there with each side missing a man. An interception of that pass. Connor Senger with the shot wide. Missing the goal. And the Bobcats will bring the ball back in with 2:07 remaining in our third quarter. Still each side a man down for the next 26 seconds. Max Combs in familiar territory here on the near side starts the Bobcat offense, along with Scott Gaddy, as we move under 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And now both teams back to equal strength as the penalties have expired. Oh, no, pardon me, that was just substitutions. We're still playing 5-on-5 lacrosse here with 88 seconds remaining in the third. Now we're back to full strength. The penalties have expired. And it's 6-on-6 lacrosse in the offensive zone. Bobcats on the attack with 30 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Caleb Cole looking to strike. Gets it back to Max Combs on the far side. A two-man game with Combs and Cole. Back behind the net now to Mac West. West challenged on the play by Kyler Waldron. And another penalty flag coming in from the referee, Edward Rose. Down to 6 on the shot clock. A low shot deflected and scooped up by the new Cornfrock goalkeeper, Cullen Stewart. And this is a slashing penalty against TCU. This penalty coming with 44 seconds to play in the third quarter. And the 5th man-up advantage of the afternoon for the Texas State Bobcats coming up. As once again, Kyler Waldron will head to the penalty box for the Horned Frogs. So 44 seconds remaining in the third quarter. This is a 60-second man-up advantage, so this will bleed over into the fourth quarter. As Texas State on the attack, 0 for 4 in their previous man-up advantages. Scott Gaddy. Pass missed by Caleb Cole. And he'll lose the ball out of bounds. TCU has possession with 24 ticks to play in our third quarter. All the way downfield. Over the head of Justin Causey. Still a loose ball. And picked up by number 19, Tate Falta. Another penalty flag comes in on this one with a blow to the head. Edward Rose, the referee, will stop play immediately with 11 seconds remaining in the third. No man advantage here. A blow to the head will immediately stop play. TCU will have the possession of the ball. 11 seconds remaining in the third quarter. This will be a man-up advantage for TCU, the previous penalty having expired against Kyler Waldron. Now the clock moving with 10 seconds, and it appears that the Horned Frogs are content to allow this third quarter to expire. A pass back to Hayden Lundy. A brief challenge by the Bobcats. And there's the horn ending our third quarter of play. Folks, we've got 3 quarters in the books here this afternoon as we begin to close out this afternoon's action in the South Division of the Lone Star Alliance in men's collegiate lacrosse. And your score, folks, as we head to the fourth quarter here at Justin Fields in Fort Worth, Texas. It's your TCU Horned Frogs 12, Texas State Bobcats 3. We'll be back in a moment with the fourth quarter here on the Game On Sports Network. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Justin Fields on the campus of Texas Christian University in Fort Worth, Texas. Brian Shackelford here along with our entire Game On Sports crew, led by executive producer Fred Garner. We're here to bring you the fourth quarter of this exciting match in the South Division of the Lone Star Alliance and the Men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association between your TCU Horned Frogs and the Texas State Bobcats. We open the fourth quarter. It's TCU 12, Texas State 3. TCU with 3 goals in the third quarter, and they were able to shut out the Bobcats in the third to move to a 9-goal advantage. The Bobcats defending the south goal here at Justin Fields to begin this fourth quarter. That shot on goal by Connor Singer, deflected by the goalkeeper, Connor Mogan. And now on the far side, the goalkeeper trying to move the ball forward for the Bobcats. Bringing it forward, number 6, Jack Glenn. And the Bobcat offense will go to work here with 65 remaining on the shot clock. That shot saved by the goalkeeper, Cullen Stewart. TCU will go back on the attack with a minute gone here in the fourth, as the Horned Frogs look to expand on their 9-goal lead. Moving the ball around the net back to number 12, Hayden Lundy. On the near side, Cade Ricecamp back in the match for the Horned Frogs. And he'll reset up top with Trey Malla. Malla working against Mac West of the Bobcats. Lundy back behind the net. Challenged there by the Bobcats. He'll get rid of the ball back up top to Ricecamp. A right-handed shot and a goal for the Horned Frogs. The fourth goal of the afternoon for number 6, Cade Ricecamp. Ricecamp with the goal at 13:04 remaining in the fourth quarter. And your score, ladies and gentlemen, here at Justin Fields is now TCU Horned Frogs 13, Texas State Bobcats 3, as they've opened up a 10-goal advantage on the Bobcats. The face-off in the center circle, a whistle, and the advantage being given to TCU. TCU on the attack, led by number 13, Reed O'Connell, the freshman out of San Ramon, California. The ball behind the net and scooped up by C.J. Sims of Texas State. O'Connell's shot wide of goal. And now the Bobcats will go on offense with just over 12 minutes remaining in the game. Charging down the field, number 43, Julius Mosser. And he'll get the ball back to Caleb Cole behind the net. They'll start the Bobcat offense. Back up top to number 20, Christian Hoffman. Mac West working on Mason DeElia. The ball going out of bounds. And it's a turnover to TCU. Oh, pardon me. No, it'll be Texas State bringing the ball back in. The ball back in the hands of Julius Mosser to start the Bobcat attack. Down to 17 on the shot clock for the Bobcats. Mosser knocked down as he attempts the shot. And now the ball across the end line. And we'll see who retains possession. It will be the Bobcats in possession. And they get a fresh 80 on the shot clock with 11 minutes to play in the game. The ball back up top to Christian Hoffman. He'll lose the ball to midfield. Perfect streak. Right to number 22 of the Horned Frogs, Michael Bacino. And he's dispossessed by C.J. Sims. A mad scramble at midfield for the ball. And now a whistle. A penalty interference is the call against TCU. They'll award the ball to Texas State. And Texas State will look to eat into this 10-goal disadvantage with just over 10 minutes remaining in the game. Still TCU 13, Texas State 3 as we play lacrosse with 10.5 remaining in the game. And a penalty flag as Mac West is knocked down in front of the crease. Bobcats still play the main advantage. Another penalty flag coming in. As a little bit of cross-checking going on here. We'll work these penalties out. One penalty flag coming from the umpire, Jason Stepanides. The first flag coming from the field judge, Brian Searsma. And this may end up being a two-man advantage for Texas State. Already in the penalty box, number 42, Brendan Doyle, rather. He'll be joined by number, I believe that's number 32, Will Gambrell. So this is a two-man up advantage for Texas State. With 10:20 remaining in the game. Texas State had a brief two-man advantage earlier in the game, unable to convert. They're 0 for 6 on the day with the man advantage. And in the penalty box, number 22, Michael Bacino, along with number 42, Brennan Doyle. The officials work to sort things out here after the two penalty calls against the Horned Frogs. And Texas State may want to take time out and talk about how they want to attack with this two-man advantage. The players are leaving the field. No signal from the officials yet. And I do believe we have a timeout on the field taken by Texas State. We'll step aside with 10:20 remaining in our fourth quarter here at Justin Fields. It remains TCU Horned Frogs 13, Texas State Bobcats 3. Back in a moment on the Game On Sports Network. And folks, welcome back here following the timeout by Texas State. They're about to go on the attack with a two-man advantage. Two penalty calls against TCU. And they have two men in the penalty box for the next 60 seconds. So the coaching staff for the Bobcats wanted to talk this over. They'll take their first time out of the half with 10:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. And now the clock moving, a fresh 80-second shot clock. As it appears, TCU will have the ball, but they're going to be attacking two men down. Number 49, Graceman Whiteman, brings the ball across the timeline. And it looks like with a 10-goal lead, TCU is just going to try to drag these under. Charging down the near sideline, Connor Singer. He'll be double-teamed. Try to be forced out of by Joseph Gilzado. Singer able to get rid of the ball. And now on the far side of the ball in possession, Michael Bacino. 40 remains on the shot clock. 20 seconds remaining in the penalties. Back up top to number 19, Tate Falta, and he'll get the ball to Ethan Griffin, number 2 for the Horned Frogs. Looks like TCU will go on the attack here now, down to 20 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Griffin looking for room, being double teamed by Texas State. Now with the ball, Nicholas Perino back from the penalty. 5 remaining on the shot clock. And the ball picked up by the Bobcats. They'll go on the attack. C.J. Sims brings the ball across. Oh, no, pardon me, make that number 8, Joseph Gulzado. And he's dispossessed. The turnover to TCU, the long stick midfielder. With the ball. And he'll just dump it off, or try to dump it off. He'll get the ball to number 22, Michael Bacino, and allow TCU to start this attack with 8.5 remaining in the game. Ethan Griffin now will start the attack for the Horned Frogs. Challenge on Cade Byer. Ball out of bounds across the end line. This will be TCU in possession, bringing the ball back in. Jared Bethea starts the offense, along with number 19, Tate Falta. Falta challenged by C.J. Sims. Very good defense all afternoon by Sims on the near side for Texas State. TCU having to move the ball away from him multiple times this afternoon, as he has been very good on defense for the Bobcats. The ball loose in front of the crease, knocked behind the crease by the Bobcat goalkeeper, Connor Morgan. And the ball back now to Michael Bacino. 7 left on the shot clock. A whistle with down to 3 on the shot clock, and the turnover will go to Texas State. The ball back in to the goalkeeper, Connor Morgan. And he'll move the ball forward to C.J. Sims. Sims to Jack Glenn. And now on the attack, Julius Mosser. 60 on the shot clock for the Bobcats. Nate English in the game now on the attack. Over to Mac West. Behind the net, Caleb Cole overshoots his target, Nate English. Mac West. And now a turnover as C.J. Sims crosses the midfield stripe. 7 men on the wrong side of the field for the Bobcats, and a turnover to TCU. They'll take over with just over 6.5 remaining. And still leading by 10, the score, TCU 10, 13 rather, Texas State 3. The ball scooped up on the near side by Logan Atkins for the Horned Frogs. He'll go behind the net. Just overshoots Griffin Wallace. Ball scooped up at midfield, back on the attack, number 34, Connor Singer with 50 on the shot clock. Ethan Griffin now in possession for TCU. Griffin Wallace, it looks like the Horned Frogs here are trying to run the shot clock down each time they have possession, down within 15 to 10 seconds before they go on the attack. A turnaround shot by Tate Falta. He's double teamed by the Bobcats, led by number 13, David Sharp. And TCU gives up possession. Texas State has the ball now. A loose pass picked up by the Horned Frogs as we move under 5.5 remaining in the game. And a penalty as Ethan Griffin takes a shot to the face by Mac West of the Bobcats. TCU will play the advantage with 65 left on the shot clock. A shot on goal. Play is stopped. And a penalty call against Mac West of the Bobcats. They'll head to the penalty box, and TCU will be man up for the next 60 seconds. And they get a fresh 80-second shot clock. The penalty coming with 5:17 remaining in the fourth quarter. And TCU still in command here by a score of 10-3 over Texas State.
TCU now inbounds, man up, with 5:15 remaining in the game. I'm sure the offensive goal here is to just this 45 to 50 seconds off the clock and attack with about 10 remaining. Try to add to their 10-goal lead. A wide open shot. You got to take that.
And it's right there, the goal for number 3, Matthew Lockman. Lockman just could not turn down that opportunity, and who can blame him? He puts the ball over the left shoulder of Connor Mogan in the goal. And another goal with 5:07 remaining in the game makes your score, ladies and gentlemen. TCU Horned Frogs 14, Texas State Bobcats 3. The defense falling asleep a little bit there for Texas State. No man on number 3, Matthew Lockman, and he had a wide open shot, mano a mano with
Connor Mogan. Zipping the ball over the left shoulder into the top corner of the net. Gives TCU an 11-goal lead with just over 5 minutes to play. 8 English.
J.T. Macedo in the center circle. And this is a delay of game against TCU. That will award the ball to Texas State. Texas State quickly on the attack with Mac West now out of the penalty box following the goal by Matthew Lockman. We move under 5 minutes remaining as the Bobcats yet to score in this second half, and TCU with fresh players. And just as I say that, a snap goal right there by number 29, Scott Gaddy. And Gaddy able to put the first goal on the board for Texas State since the second period. Gaddy nets the ball with 4:49 remaining in the game, and your score now, TCU 14, Texas State 4. Once again, Nate English, J.T. Macedo return to the center circle for this face-off.
Scramble for the ball, picked up by, nope, still in the air. Now
Caught by number 1, Ethan Vernon of the Horned Frogs. Griffin Wallace will start the offense for TCU. 2 quick goals in succession, one by each team. And we play lacrosse here in the fourth quarter, 14-4 the advantage for TCU. A whistle behind the net on the foul, and they reset the 82nd.
shot clock for the Horned Frogs. As TCU will inbound following the foul. 4:20 to play in the fourth quarter.
On the attack, number 25, Nicholas Perino. Well defended by Joseph Gulzado. And
Now a whistle. And a turnover.
over to Texas State. A penalty call there against the Horned Frogs.
Now C.J. Sims will go on the attack for the Bobcats.
He'll get the ball to number 37, Caleb Cole behind the net. They'll restart the Bobcat attack. Julius Mosser up top for Texas State as C.J. Sims returns to the defensive side of the field. Mosser around behind the net. In the second half, Cullen Stewart in goal for the Horned Frogs.
He took over about 5 minutes.
It's into the third quarter. Jack Glenn thinks about the shot. He'll pull it back. Mac West on the far side. Trying to get in the middle. Shot deflected by
By Stewart. Stewart didn't see that ball, but it bounces off his chest plate to the near side.
scooped up by number 43, Julius Mosser for Texas State. And a fresh attack for the Bobcats. As we move under 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Texas State in desperate need of goals at this point, trailing by 10. Still a 14-4 lead for TCU. A shot high.
Deflected off the crossbar. A whistle with 2:50 to play.
Foul called against the Bobcats. The turnover to TCU.
Ball walked up by the goalkeeper, Cullen Stewart.
The ball to Matthew Lockman. Colin Minton on the far side will start the offense. It's back up top now in the person of number 39, Logan Atkins. Just under 60 seconds remaining on the shot clock, 2.5 to play in the game. As TCU just looks to take time off the clock here and secure this victory this afternoon here at Justin Fields. The attack by number 39, Logan Atkins. He'll fade away behind the net. Over to number 41, Griffin Wallace. Nicholas Perino up top, challenged by Joseph Gulzato.
Colin Minute takes possession again, down to 25 on the shot clock. Spin by Colin Minute. He'll get double teamed. The ball comes loose, and it's scooped up by Texas State. Joseph Gulzato back with the long stick on the midfield. He'll get the ball forward. A little too far, scooped up by Christian Vieira for the Horned Frogs. Brennan Doyle now moving the ball forward for TCU down the far sideline.
And it will go out of bounds. Texas State will have possession as we have 83 seconds remaining in the game. This will be a reset of the shot clock, only a 3-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. A minute 20 to play, 77 on the shot clock for Texas State, as they try to notch one more goal here in today's contest and cut into the 10-goal deficit they now face.
Max Combs on the near side to Scott Gaddy. He'll take it over
To Caleb Cole. Number 37 for the Bobcats, looking for room. He's got a shot. He takes it, and a goal for number 37, Caleb Cole. A zigzag inside the defender, Jack Waller, and he's able to go low on the ground and get it past the goalkeeper. Number 48, Cullen Stewart for the score. That goal coming for Texas State with 52 seconds remaining in the game. And your new score, ladies and gentlemen, now Justin Fields, your TCU Horned Frogs 14, Texas State Bobcats 5. Another face-off in the center circle for
JT Macedo and Nate English. Shot clock effectively off now with 50 seconds to play. Penalty flag comes in.
Play immediately stopped as Julius Mosser just bowls over.
Number 11, John Bush.
And that will end the afternoon early for number 43, Julius Mosser, as he'll spend the remaining 45 seconds of this match in the penalty box. And I'm sure at this point now, TCU with a man-up advantage, 45 seconds to play. The shot clock not a factor. They'll just look to take the last 45 seconds off the clock and stay free of injury and take this victory to the barn here this afternoon at Justin Fields. The right personnel on the field for TCU. Number 31, Trey Malla back in the game. Also number 6, Cade Ricecamp. Ricecamp with 6 goals on the afternoon for the Horned Frogs. The clock moving with less than 40 seconds to play.
And TCU will just move the ball around the perimeter. Drag off the final 30 seconds. Texas State still trying to play strong defense. They don't want to give up a late goal.
Colin Ricecamp looks to take a shot, and he'll move it over to Michael Bacino. Ricecamp rocks and fires, and he'll score. That's the 7th goal of the game. Number 6, Colin Ricecamp. And Ricecamp scores with 10 seconds to play. An exclamation point for TCU here in this game today at Justin Fields. And your score with 10 ticks remaining in the game. It's now TCU Horned Frogs 15, Texas State Bobcats 5. It's off of the center circle, JT Macedo with the ball. And he'll just run around and take the last 5 seconds off the clock.
pass to Colin Rice-Camp.
And the horn sounds ending today's game.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final word is sounded here this afternoon at Justin Fields on the campus of Texas Christian University in Fort Worth, Texas, bringing this game in the Lone Star Alliance South Division to a close. Final score here this afternoon at
Seven goals by Colin Rice-Camp. They struck early, they struck often. And this game, not much of a contest, a 7-2 lead for TCU at the end of the first quarter. And that's all they would need as they expanded on that advantage throughout the game, holding Texas State scoreless in the third quarter and 2 goals late in the fourth quarter as TCU added 8 more goals on the day, but an outstanding game for the attacker, number 6, Colin Rice-Camp, a freshman out of Bradenton, Florida. He put 7 goals in the net today and led the attack for TCU in their victory here today by a score of 15-5. Now, folks, we invite you to join us again here on Game On Sports for our next broadcast of the TCU Horned Frogs. Be sure to stay tuned to the TCU Lacrosse website for more information on our next home match right here at Justin Fields, as Game On Sports Productions will have the broadcast for you live right here on our website at GameOnSportsNetwork.com. And, folks, that's going to wrap it up for us here today as the players shake hands. A fantastic game for the Horned Frogs here on a great day. Just a beautiful sunshiny day, a light breeze here at Justin Fields. And as the fans start to take their leave, taking their furry friends with them, we'll bid you goodbye. Once again, we thank you for joining us here on behalf of our camera crew, Chris Reniger and Tyler Presley, and our director and the executive producer of Game On Sports Productions, Fred Garner. This is Brian Shackelford, thanking you for joining us this afternoon and for your continued support of TCU Horned Frog Lacrosse. Your final score, TCU Horned Frogs 15, Texas State Bobcats 5. Until next time, good afternoon and God bless from Fort Worth, Texas.